University of Florida and Coach Meyer on a tremendous day and a valiant effort, and congratulations on your win and the new Outback Bowl champion. I need a player up here to help with that.
Over here. Over here. Thank you, Damon.
And before Coach Meyer comes up and speaks, I'd like to introduce Greg Scarlett, Senior Vice President of Operations for Outback Steakhouse, to introduce the most valuable player of the game.
This year we're pleased to announce the most valuable player for the Outback Bowl is Armand Black from the University of Florida with 6 tackles, 2 interceptions, 129 yards, and a run back of 80 yards for a touchdown. Congratulations.
I just told my team when I walked in the locker room, I appreciate them for everything. Most importantly, I thank Coach Meyer for everything, on the field, off the field. Without him, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. So, just thank you. It feels great to come out on top.
I think that's rather appropriate that Ahmad Black, the best safety in college football, won that award. A lot of people to thank. Obviously, I want to acknowledge Penn State. That was a tough group. That defensive line, our guys told me, was as tough as physical as we've had to go against all year. So obviously, Joe Paterno, the finest coach in college football history, and the Penn State University, that was a classic game. That was 2 teams going as hard as they possibly can, not a bunch of nonsense going on, just playing hard, and it was an honor to coach in that game. I asked these players, one of my dear friends, Ian Lockwood, 2 years ago I met Ian, or about a year and a half ago, and the young man his love and passion for football is second to none. And we became very good friends. He had football taken away from him, and I asked this team, he's been with our team a bunch, we spent a lot of time together, his family stays with us, and I asked these guys to do whatever we possibly could do to get a game ball to Ian Lockwood, and that meant you had to go 4 quarters as hard as you possibly can and find a way to bring that ball and brighten someone's day. So I would like to ask Ian Lockwood to come up here. I'm going to present him with a game ball and ask him to say a few words. Ian Lockwood. Ian, on behalf of Ahmad Black, our captain, our seniors, the University of Florida football team, University of Florida as an institution, I'd like to present this game ball to you. We told you we'd do everything we possibly could to make this day a little better, to find a way. What was our sole purpose of winning that game was to find a way to get this game ball, this actual game ball, and Ahmad Black intercepted in return. And I'd like to have Ahmad Black hand it to you and say congratulations.
I met Ian, right around the same time Coach did, so, he needed just as much as he did the coach. So, that was our golden objective to win the game, for Ian. So, thank you. Appreciate it. And it means a lot to me. Kind of name the shame that shakes. He has always been from the beginning. Football is definitely a life to me. It's good to always have enough organization and Florida to support you whenever you need it. My team back at home, I got to play 6 games my senior season. Coming short. I don't know, I'm brain surgery. But finished 6 out of these guys, so it's pretty good. Thanks, Coach.
I'll answer any questions for you.
Coach, you got 86 yards at halftime. You get 120 in the third quarter. Can you give us a little synopsis of your halftime speech?
Yeah, we halftime speech was some nice. Our goal was to get in the second level somehow, and they were doing a very good job. Whenever you have a month or whatever it was, 3 weeks to defend or prepare, Penn State did a heck of a job. They made some adjustments on their defense. They did some stuff they haven't shown, but we knew when they would do that. And then Coach Adazio did a heck of a job, and Jordan Reed's a hell of a player. I mean, Jordan Reed did a great job moving that offense. We did up tempo. I think they wore out a little bit because we kept possession time. I haven't seen that yet, but I think possession time was substantial for the Gators in that second half, and you could see them start to give a little bit. So, and our defense was hanging in their whole game. We were awful in the first half on offense, but we came back with special teams, and the second half our offense played very good.
Coach, you talked about your letter to Joe Paterno at the luncheon the other day. Talk about what it means to you to be able to coach against him in your final game as a coach of the Gators.
Well, I've said that's been the story all week, and it's all true. And I think the admiration for the man, and he will go down as the greatest football coach in the history of the game, and he should. And every young coach, in my opinion, take a lesson from him, not some of this other stuff going on. But if I ever start a coaching school, I'm going to make everybody do a book report on Joe Paterno and say that's the way you should act in coaching, because that's college football. And it's also a way players should take from guys like him. And you just don't want to lose that, man. I don't want to lose what college football is. That was college football at the end of the day.
Urban, can you talk about, I'm way over here. Can you talk about standing there in the corner of the end zone, singing the alma mater, and then fight something last time with Shelly and your kids? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, my wife started crying, so she took me up a little bit. She obviously can see what she's wearing, and all the kids, they love Florida. We've given 6 years. 6 equals about 40 years of your life to Florida, and we couldn't have dreamed of doing it anywhere else because this is our place. We love it. And to sing that fight song last time, to go salute the band, we had the best band in the country, and shake hands with our instructor, our band director, that was real special.
Herbie, can you just talk about what Ahmad's to do in the program?
Ahmad Black is one of my closest friends. I can call him a friend now because he's not my player. He's family. Ahmad Black was not the Ahmad Black when we got him 4 years ago. Ahmad Black has turned into a grown man. A grown man that's going to pay taxes someday. A grown man that's going to have a family someday. He's going to be a great father, a great husband, because Ahmad Black is a grown man now. And he's got a great family. But he also, his relationship with Chuck Eater, and I made a comment about that, if it's done right, your player-coach relationship is second only to that of your family. And he can attest to that, saying Ahmad Black wasn't what he was when we got him. And now that he's leaving here, he's everything and more. So, very proud of him.
Just talk about
For the next question, we have some Florida and Penn State players in the player room across the hall. Anybody?
Just how he played today.
Pat Towns and Alcee, the player there now.
I'm sorry?
He went down with an injury, came back, and went down again.
Oh, that's Ahmad Black, though. I knew he wasn't out. He missed one punt formation. We almost got a block, so I was really angry with him. I was going to cut him out of the will. But he's back in it, so all right.
Not just Ahmad, your secondary missing Norris.
My gosh.
Stepped up. What can you say about that?
Jeremy
Like
Brown
Cody
went down.
Riggs?
Jeremy Brown went down. At one point, Cody Riggs went down. We're playing with Dale Watkins and Moses Jenkins, I believe, at corner. Is that correct? And I was even looking at some of our receivers, thinking we might have to stick one of those guys in. And Ahmad Black, Matt Elam went down with a hamstring, and we had to move a guy that hadn't got reps all year at strong safety. So we were a mess there for a little bit, but they hung in there. And Coach Eater and Coach Austin did a great job hanging in there. And when Ahmad Black came back, we were fine.
Urban, what will decide if and when you coach again?
No, I'm not worried about that. Probably that gal over there to the left of me. I just love college football and what to do around it.
Have you had full peace with this, or when do you think this will all hit you?
I was full peace because I saw a bunch of smiles in that locker room. Locker rooms really aren't very much fun when there's not smiling and pain in your stomach and your chest and everything else. And there was a lot of fun in there. A lot of fun. It was great to give the game ball to Ian. It was also great to see the smiles on the seniors when they walk out. That group of seniors, I know this year was not a good year. However, those guys will leave here as one of the best group of seniors that ever played for us.
What was the most moving thing that one of your players or coaches or staff members said to you after the game, on the field, or in the locker room?
Well, Chuck Eater, this is the fourth job we've worked together, Chuck Eater and I, and he just told me he loved me and gave me a big hug. I said, what a run. And we've been together now 7 straight years. He was with me at Utah and 6 years here, and a whole bunch of rings together. And just, he's college football. We've been in it forever. And he choked me up. And also Steve Adazio, what he's gone through this year, and disappointments in offense. To see, he's my best friend. To see him have an opportunity to go run his own program makes it all worthwhile.
What does it say about evaluation of players when guys like Tim Tebow have to be sold to the NFL to get a job?
You're trying to hook me, aren't you?
Guys like
I really love Ahmad Black. He's like family to me.
Well, that's my point. Ahmad Black, too slow, too short, too everything. Yet, arguably your best player. What is it about that?
He's not only arguably my best player, he's the best safety in college football. You know, I mean, it's obviously everybody has opinions, and once again, my opinion a lot of times doesn't matter. But we don't look at speed, we don't look at vertical jump. Unfortunately, sometimes we get caught up in that recruiting. Obviously, you get caught up in the combine and NFL stuff. All I know is Ahmad Black playing for Florida, which is a fairly competitive program and a fairly competitive conference, is the best safety as far as that tells you. Football player number 1, intangibles number 2, and then the measurables number 3. That's kind of the way that I've learned that over the years too, because I was incorrect for a while. I used to look at measurables before anything else. I used to look at the 40-yard dash. I still do. There's some other areas I look at just as strong or stronger.
Irvin, you said it was hard to lead on a 7-5 season. Does this make it feel a little better?
Yeah, it feels great. It feels great because Will Muschamp's getting a good group of young men and on a positive note. It's awful in the offseason. And we've only had one time we had to go through an offseason where we lost a bowl game. And it's terrible. And Will Muschamp's getting a football team that's going to have some bright eyes and ready to get to work and go be a little better next year. Get back to where we need to be.
Irvin, will you address those stories that this was health related? Those stories that came out after your announcement that you're leaving for health reasons?
I'm not going to do that today.
Your emotions after the interception, the last 45 seconds, different than what you thought it'd be?
Yeah, I was going to hit him right square in the mouth if he got a 15-yard penalty for holding that ball up. Was that a freshman year you got the penalty or sophomore? The sophomore year he got a celebration penalty. Did you do the Lakeland sign or something? He did the Lakeland sign. And I made it real clear he would never take another snap in Florida if he got a penalty. And he said as he was crossing the line, he was going to spike the ball and throw it in the stands, but he remembered what I said 4 years ago. It's good discipline right there, Mark.
Coach, talk about the punt block. That had to be something you saw on film.
Yeah, we used to be known to do that around here. It used to be kind of our signature. And Sullivan Pat has been a great player. I mean, that kid came right off the edge did exactly like TJ Turkin, and those guys put it in, and that was awesome. That changed the game for us. We were sputtering around.
Did you flood that one side?
One more question.
Flood the one side on purpose to get them to move over, and so.
Well, there's a man side and zone side. We actually overloaded the other side.
Yeah.
The other side.
Yeah.
So we draw the shield. They have the 3 big guys in the back. So that's the man side. We overloaded. They squeezed down, and then the guy at the
They
edge
moved over, and so your guy was free.
You sound like a coach.
I just wanted to make sure I was right.
You got it, coach.
We've got a lot of emphasis on the Ahmad interception. Could you talk about Hicks's interception? Because they had a naked bootleg there. They could have easily run for the first down. He chose to throw it.
Yeah, I think turnovers are the key to the game. I'm not sure how many they had. We started off in a real bad with turnovers as well. I can't tell you exactly what happened on that play, but Brandon Hicks should be an NFL player. He should do more of that because he's so talented. I'm not going to take a shot at Brandon Hicks because I love Brandon, but that was a great play at the perfect time.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
You're going to bring up Ahmad Black.